has targeted. Hey, quick question. Does anybody else feel like the GOP has targeted and identified straight black men as the weakest emotional link in our community? No, seriously, think about it. Before you get your boxes in a bunch, I'm not saying this as a black woman. I'm not saying this as a matter of opinion. I am saying it as someone who has been looking at social trends a lot lately, looking at political trends, and also looking at Hitler's playbook. Because if we're keeping it a stack, it's impossible to fully understand or appreciate how dangerous Trump is without looking at Hitler, who clearly is his blueprint.
No.
And when I look at all three of these,
y'all have got to understand that Hitler got his idea from America. Don't put it off on Hitler like, ooh, Trump is just copying Hitler. No, bitch. Trump is going by the original playbook that Hitler used to do what he did in the Holocaust. We gotta stop saying that Trump is getting his ideas from Hitler. Hitler got his ideas from America, man. We are the blueprint for this bullshit. The illusion of white supremacy is over here. And so they used it over there and used it in a similar way. And you just so happen to be able to see it because of the times that we are in. But they got all their ideas from Jim Crow laws and the American slavery system. Also, let me let Blue finish talking.
things, it becomes shockingly clear to me as an educated hypothesis that the GOP has intentionally been targeting straight black men for years now under our noses. And honestly, if you think about it, it makes total sense, objectively and non-emotionally speaking, right? Because for centuries now, white supremacy has intentionally been separating black men from black women in a ploy to weaken their families, right? And the thought was, if we take away the black men due to chattel slavery, due to the school to prison pipeline, due to bullshit marijuana laws, if we keep separating these women from their men, they're going to become weaker. But instead of becoming weaker, black women were like a resistant virus in the face of white supremacy, where instead of becoming compromised, we just kept mutating into stronger strains of ourselves, right? Instead of dying off, black women just kept on getting stronger and stronger and more resistant. And white supremacy probably said to itself, fuck, we were trying to make these bitches weak. Not only are they not weak, they've gotten stronger even though their men are gone. Quick question. Does anybody...
Okay, so I agree and I don't agree. One, I agree that in a system of patriarchy, which what conservatives run on, right, is conserving patriarchal, traditional, all that shit, that is male-centered ideologies. Okay? So I agree, yes. I also have seen ads for the past few years targeting black men. I agree. I agree. And what better group to target than a group of men who feel like their racial identity oppresses them? So what else could they fall in line with? Their male identity, their heterosexuality, and their Christianity, right? Why would a group of men who benefit from a system of patriarchy align with black women? Why? See, you say it's not emotional, but when you start talking about black men being taken from black women, that is an emotional charge. That is an emotional charge that, oh my God, your men, and you assume that they're your men because they are black. And you assume that they identify with you because you are black. But no, why would a group of men under the system of patriarchy identify with women, let alone black women? If under the system of patriarchy, we know it's white, male, heterosexual, Christian, able-bodied, and thin, right? We know that. So we know as a melanated person and in a female body, you're automatically out of there. You're out of there. Whether you white or Christian or heterosexual, just because you are Black woman, you're out of that whole little system. So why would I try to entice Black women? You're out of the system. You're not a male and you're not white. So what do Black men do? What's a better way? Let's get towards the people who also see their racial identity as something that oppresses them. So let's figure out a way to disconnect them from their racial identity that oppresses them and get them in alignment with their male ideas, their Christian ideas, and heterosexuality. And stop saying that triangle shaped man is getting their ideas from Hitler. Hitler, let's start at A for America. Okay? That is where Hitler got his ideas. I'm just going to ask Deep Seek. Shout out to the people who told me to get on Deep Seek. But I put in there, I asked, did Hitler get his plans for the Holocaust from America's Jim Crow laws and the slavery system? It answered, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime's plans for the Holocaust were primarily driven by their own ideology of racial superiority, anti-Semitism, and the goal of creating a racially, quote, pure Aryan society. However, historians have noted that Hitler and other Nazi officials did express admiration for certain aspects of American racial policies, including segregation under Jim Crow laws and the treatment of Native Americans, as well as the legal framework of American slavery. For example, in Mein Kampf, Hitler praised the United States for its immigration restrictions, which he saw as a model for preserving racial purity. Additionally, Nazi officials studied American eugenics laws and racial segregation policies as they developed their own racial laws, such as the Nuremberg Laws of 1935, which stripped Jews of citizenships and prohibited intermarriage between Jews and non-Jews. So when you are up there clapping and falling, what they're doing is feeding your xenophobia when they're telling people, oh, get out of the country, we're deporting and this and that. They are banking on you becoming xenophobic. But then when they turn around and tell you your racial identity is not in alignment with whiteness, and so you're going to be stripped of your citizenship too, this is where they've learned that from this country. Okay. While the Nazis drew some inspiration from American racial policies, it is important to emphasize that the Holocaust was a uniquely horrific event rooted in European anti-Semitism. The scale and systematic nature and industrialized murder of the Holocaust far exceed any racial policies in the United States. The comparison should not diminish the distinctiveness of either system, but rather highlight how racist ideologies can influence and reinforce one another across different contexts. Stop saying he got his idea from Hitler. Hitler got his idea from America. The blueprint for all this bullshit. So when you are down there saying that, and I don't understand. I don't understand if you are looking at these people as a weaker link. Why are you so hell bent on having conversations, trying to get them come over here with us? No, if you are saying that Black women have sustained, have resisted, have persisted, have risen up, that tells you, uh, like I honestly have never heard in any patriarchal history, um text, anything that says that there are a group of women who outpace the group of men that share their racial identity. Never, 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 never. So this thing, when you start saying, oh, they're taking black men from their families, that's not true. We're not, that is not true. This welfare thing, take the black man out of the home and all that other bullshit, that was a morality clause so that homosexuals would stop mooching off of women who get aid from welfare. Nobody was kicking married couples out of, breaking up married couples. It was a morality clause to encourage marriage, to have these men stop mooching off of the women getting aid. That's why the women had to, quote, hide them, because they were not married, nor were they the father of any of the children. Come on, y'all. And furthermore, why would you want somebody so feeble minded to be in your community? Girl, you feeble minded. But at the same time, a black man would be like, listen, I'd rather identify with my male ideologies, with my maleness, with my heterosexuality, with my Christianness than my blackness, because my blackness oppresses me. And if I'm only one step away from attaining the perceived power that a white male heterosexual Christian man has, I'm going to go in that direction. And it's as simple as that. If you want to take the emotion out of it, stop mentioning, oh, they took the men away from our families. That's going to ignite an emotional reaction from people, because people feel like something was taken from them. Nothing was taken from you. Never was taken from you. All these grown ass niggas have a fucking brain and they can make their own decisions. And if they choose to align with white men instead of black women, they're aligning because they're men, not because of the blackness is out of here. And that's the one thing that black women are going to have to understand, is like, when you see another black woman, okay, you align with her as an ally, but the black man, you have to make sure that his ideologies aren't rooted in patriarchy. And that's typically where they are. That's why they want to have these conversations ad nauseum about you submitting and going 50-50 and all this other dumb shit that they be talking about. I just had to say that because I heard Blue and I was like, let me hear what Blue has to say. Let me listen to everything she has to say. And then let me read a couple of comments, because I don't understand why you would expect a man to align with you just because you're black. Y'all gonna have to get out of that. I'm sorry. It's, and then, like you say, take the emotion out of it, be practical and be real about it. Take the emotion out of it and understand, just because these niggas is black doesn't mean that they align with you, sweetie. You're the only one holding on to your racial identity. They don't. They're like, girl, you want me to align with you based on race, and I know my race is oppressing me. I'd rather align with male. I'd rather align with Christian. I'd rather align with heterosexuality. And I use Christian and heterosexuality very loosely, very loosely. Okay. So some of the comments, scrolling through the comments, and what I see, a lack of comprehension, emotional intelligence, critical thinking is keeping black men from really getting the message. One day, black women, and I thought that was the plan, but one day y'all gonna have to stop talking to black men, straight black men. Y'all gonna have to stop talking to them. Why are you over there talking to them? Why are you over there talking to them? It's giving begging, begging, begging you. Put your loving hands out, baby. Begging, begging you. Stop begging these niggas. Sadly, this will end up as an argument between black men and women. The fact is, they're targeting us, and while they haven't made a huge impact, their play is slowly working for a lot of reasons. It's up to black men to stop it. This has nothing to do with black women. Yes, and until black people fully discuss this without any excuses, we will continue the cycle. They've always known the phone tapping of MLK and his bouts of infidelity and admiration of white identified white women. It's the reason those women have received more benefit in efforts to combat discrimination. I now believe that since the explosion of black male red pill, those men are heavily funded by the GOP to attract black women. Black male podcasts have become the number one entrepreneurial route for penurious black men. The GOP now has to stop self-hating, and the GOP now has to stop self-hating and anti-black women. Black men not venture towards white women. Some of this is true. Black men have been the target from the beginning of it all. You're right. You remove the man, you weaken the black family, girl.
I just, girl, stop.
And the idea, that's why you have to go read The Way We Never Were. The idea that the family structure was the answer. It was not the answer. It is marriage today in 2025 is not the answer to building wealth and all that other stuff. Girl, no. And I'm tired of black women thinking that marriage is the answer to whatever problems they have. It is not the answer. It has never been the answer. Please go read The Way We Never Were by Stephanie Coontz. Please go read it so that you can have a clear understanding of what you're around here fantasizing about. Never existed. Never existed. What you are fantasizing about, my dear, you saw through television programs, romance novels, and movies. That is what you're getting your ideas from. Because the truth of the matter is, it is not the answer. Breaking up the black family didn't do anything to destruct black people. It's their racial identity, period. Full stop. That's it. And that shit is fake. What did Kanye West say the other day? I want to get to the top position. White male Christian heterosexual men. He said it himself. Do I need to play it again? You weaken the black family. However, in the process, they gave black women the illusion that they're doing good and better. In fact, you keep the family down. You see everybody know that women are easy to manipulate. And that's where you get when you start saying, oh, they took the men away to weaken the women. You are agreeing with patriarchal ideologies. A man not next to a woman does not weaken a woman. It doesn't. Because then you are saying that she needs a man next to her in order to be strong. Y'all got to be careful with the way that you say the things that you say. A man not being next to me does not make my family weaker. Sorry, it doesn't. I am not easy to manipulate. No. This idea that a man, when you are in relationship, how many of y'all have to tell a man what to do? How many of y'all have to tell the man what to do? Remind him what to do. Tell him what to do. So why in the hell do you need a man around so that you can be the goddamn general and he's a fucking private? Just to say that he's around and make you feel stronger? That's a lie. Oh, they took the black man away to make the family weaker. Girl, please. They use you unknowingly to keep us destroyed. You are now keeping straight black men down.
Tired ass, po ass, raggedy ass, slow ass niggas.
Girl, give me a fucking break. They play on black men's insecurities. We need to emotionally support our black men. Listen, just because I'm a black male, just because a male is black does not mean that he's yours. Our black men. Girl, I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go take my son to get a follow-up to his surgery the other day. So I just want to make this quick video. This is a quick video to get down. I'll actually play Blue's video, put a link to Blue's video. They posted it on Hollywood. It was either on Hollywood Unlocked or Hollywood Unlocked. There's a lot of comments here, and it's only gonna make annoy me, because this idea that just because they are melanated, that they're somehow your default counterpart. Girl, I wish that women would get away from that. I wish that women would get away from the idea that just because a man isn't close to you makes you weaker. Like, that shit is so, like, I don't even think Blue, because Blue is like really progressive in her thoughts. So I don't even think she realized what she's saying, because like I said, why would anyone think that a man under a system of patriarchy would align with a racial identity like women have as a means of community when the racial identity oppresses them? Who wants to be oppressed? Nobody wants to be oppressed. And if I'm only one step away from this idealized version of manhood and being close to the men in power, what do you think is going to be easy to do? So now you feel like, oh my God, you're not identifying with us on a racial level. You're over there with the men, with the straight white men. You're over there and you're this. Girl, let them stay over there, because they don't have no plans for their asses either. Girl, Anyways, I gotta go. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.